Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurhaifa Amira binti Hamzah. Right now, I'll be presenting about my reflection for PEC 203 Communication Skill. The main activity during this course can be explained into two things. Okay, the first one is for weekly activity and the other one is the major project. So for the weekly activity, my group have been assigned to conduct an activity with a respective team called effective communications. So basically inside this weekly activity, we have divided ourselves into three subgroups for 3 games. So the first one, I have been assigned to conduct a game called charades. So basically inside this game, we have stressed out on how do the participants to play the games by communicating and how well they explain a situation inside a hospital for their representative to guess it. Alright, for the second subgroup, they conducted a game called What Is It? And inside this game, the group members, they basically have to act a profession and also the representative have to guess it. And for the last one is the Geopard style quiz. So basically inside this game, we actually encourage the participants to speak out their opinions, their ideas, to give an answer, and also to listen carefully for what their group members said. Alright. So basically inside this game, if they have ticked any of the points that I mentioned, they can tick inside the box, and for whoever able to tick most of the box within 15 minutes, they will win the game. Alright, so for the major project, our group get a team called language barrier. So inside the video for our major group, for our major project, we make a 2 scene. So for the first scene is a mute patient, and for the second scene is about patients and also some of the medical staff who only know to communicate with their mother tongue only. So here there's like a challenge for the people around them to communicate with them. All right. The main objective for this course is basically to encourage the student to communicate with others and also to improve their communication skills. So for my opinion, if I'm seeing myself before entering this class, before this course, I actually have improved a lot in terms of communicating with others, especially with someone who is older than me or someone who is outside from my course. So I think this class has I have achieved the main objective for this class. For my opinion, I think it's yes, because okay, let's just say like I am a medical student who basically talk with my course mates or my classmate only about our studies. We only talk about our studies, about about the case studies, about our exams. So actually by entering this class, I have another point of view of life, and actually I have communicate a lot with my group members inside this class about how to conduct the activities, about how to do our major projects. So I think this is all of the activities that have been included inside this course is so necessary, especially for students that only dedicates their life for their studies. And so that because by entering this class, by joining this class, they actually enhance their communication skills, talking about something other than their studies, especially about something they have to brainstorm about the activities related to their team. So I think all of these communication skills are really needed inside our life, not just as a student, but also as a human being. And also this is so important for our future. What I learned about communication skill is that communication is the key to success, especially if you work in a group. Because if you don't have a communication within your group members, you won't have a final answer to your discussion. All right? And then communication also is something that is needed, because if you don't communicate well with your colleagues, you will have a lot of misunderstandings. So even if you have an opinion that you think it might look silly or it might sound silly, you always have to point out, you always have to voice out about your opinions, because your opinions matter. And that is why communication is always needed, and communication is so important. Okay, so I think that's what I learned for this course. Communication is the key to success. My contribution to the activity can be also divided into two, in terms of weekly activity and also for the major project. So my contribution for weekly activity, I contribute in taking part in the charades, which I provide an idea, which I point out my ideas on the situation for the games, like for the participants to act about the situation, and also someone who take the marks for each groups. Alright, so that is my contribution for weekly activities. And contribution for the major project is that I am the prop teams, which means I have to make sure each of my group members have their proper props for them to act inside the video. For example, I have to make sure they have a stethoscope for my group member who act as a doctor, and the lab coats, remind them for bring their lab coats. And also I also point out the ideas and also discuss with my other teams, my prop teams, about where to shoot the video and how we will shoot the video. And I think my contribution for the weekly activity and also for the major project is enough, because I think in the weekly activity there is not really difficult things to do, because I only have to point out my ideas for the situation, for the games points, and also just to take marks. And I think that is something that someone have to contribute in a group with a big number of people. All right, and then for the major project, I think my contribution also is enough, because it's not that easy to make sure everyone have their own props and to think about where to shoot the video. So I think my contribution for these activities is enough. When will I use all of these communication skills in the future is when I start to enter my clinical years, which is for my 3rd year, 4th year, and 5th year of degree, because I have to communicate a lot, and I have at that time, inshallah, I'll be meeting with a lot of people, especially with the patients, the doctors, the nurses. So I think all of this communication can be used, and also I can make a way, like a better way to communicate with someone who is more superior than me in the professions. And that is how I will use this communication skill that had been taught inside this course. I think that is all from me for this reflection video for PEC 203 communication skill. I do enjoy this course activities and also the project. Thank you so much.